Hello, I'm Zachary Oliver from Theology Gaming. I thought I'd do a little quick video on Guacamelee because, well, I give it a 4-star, and I guess that means it's better than DMC Devil May Cry. In a way. I mean, it's a different genre of game, but the combat system in this is not as good, but the game itself is better. So, but it doesn't matter. Really. Here I'm just here to talk about the mechanics. So, I completed the game once. I'm in the Cavern of the Chicken. I imagine that will give me many opportunities to display the combat in its full quote-unquote splendor. But it's pretty basic stuff. So, in terms of the game itself, it's a 2D side-scroller, so a lot of the attacks will hit left or right. Depending on what direction you're facing, that's where they'll go. So, the default button combination is the regular attack, so it's a 3-hit canned combo. Not much there. There's a little delay, you'll be using this a ton. There's also an air version of the same jump, if you get enough height. Which you will when you're fighting enemies, but when you can't just do the full thing right here. So, that's one little restriction. Now, of course there's an air game, as in most games of this type, and to do that you basically press the default attack button, which is X for Xbox users and square for PlayStation, and you press up and X. And that's a launcher. Woo, launcher. We get that kind of thing. Now, other than that, there really isn't that much in the normal attacks, so these are basically just combo extenders, and they're used to just kind of soften an enemy up, because a lot of the tactics in this game involve hitting an enemy enough times so you can throw him, so you can pile drive him or throw him at other enemies to stun them, and then the throw cycle will continue repeatedly. Of course, it takes a while to get there. So the game also gives you other movements in the process. So you'll be using double jump a lot. This is at the end of the game, so a lot of these abilities you won't get until you reach the end of the game, but the double jump is there. You'll be jumping because certain attacks cannot be dodged using the dodge, which is the L2 button for me, but it may be something different for you. Now, dodging, when you actually dodge attack, it'll actually show your character glowing blue, so you'll actually be able to see the exact amount of frames in which you're invincible when you roll through an attack. But sometimes it just kind of, you get hit anyway, because the enemy's attack sticks out longer. So I'm going to guess this has something to do with the hitboxes on the way the attacks work. So sometimes you'll get hit even though you thought you would dodge through the attack, because the attack lasted longer than the invincibility frames in your dodge. Now, in something like Bayonetta, for example, you'll dodge, and the whole dodge will be invincible. So anytime you press that attack, you know it's good. And the way they limit it in Bayonetta is that you can only dodge 5 times, and the 5th dodge will have a huge recovery window on it. Now, in this game, I know that they did this so that you would basically have to time your dodge in the right way, but there's so many enemies on screen sometimes, it's almost impossible to not get hit. Which is why I assume this is a Metroidvania-style game where you can get lots of health power-ups rather than a pure combat game. So this is forgivable in a way, but in another way it's not, because certain enemies are completely... the dodge just doesn't even work. If they glow red before their attack, you just can't dodge it. Doesn't matter what you do, you're going to get hit. And when you get hit in Guacamelee, you get thrown back like far, and you get invincibility frames, so that's good. But it just seems like a lot of that is a cop-out for you to just get hit anyway. So, basically, you will get hit in combat situations, and that's why they give you lots of life. And there's really no incentive to not get hit, because killing a lot of enemies will get you health back. And you can get health in many other ways by running past save points and that sort of thing. So I imagine these challenge mode kind of encounters will change that a bit, but it depends. Now, in terms of other things you can do, the special attack button will get you a lot through the game. But first of all, there's the grapple, which is the Y. And it has this kind of weird animation when you whiff it. Doesn't really do anything. Now, if you grapple an enemy with it, obviously you can basically, you press the Y button to grab, then you can pick a direction, you'll see a helpful little arrow that'll appear, and it'll pop up and say, oh, you can throw them here, here, or here. And then you basically press the Y button again, and they throw it. Now, later in the game, you basically get special grapple attacks. So you press Y to grab, and then you press B and a direction. If you press forward, you'll do a kick that'll launch them far away. If you press down and B after the initial throw, you do a pile driver. And if you press back and B, you'll do the suplex. And the suplex does the most damage and kills enemies. So whereas that won't get you a very big combo multiplier, it will get you enemies dead, which is good. It's good for getting through the game, but not good for getting money. The combo system is really basic. Basically, the longer you keep the combo up without getting hit, the more money you'll get, and the more you can spend on upgrades. But there really aren't that many upgrades, so it's not that much of an incentive. Okay, anyway, onto the special moves button, which is kind of the meat of this combat system. So let's say I do a default combo XXX, XXX, up and B. That's the Rooster Punch. The Rooster Punch is basically like DMC's launcher attack. So basically, it'll take you up into the air, but you don't have to hold the button or anything. Boom, you're in the air. That's great. And every time you use a special attack with the special move button, it'll use a stamina block as displayed up in the yellow parts of the left top screen. So anytime you use it, boom, see stamina. Now, it recovers really fast because I bought all the stamina recovery upgrades, but in the beginning of the game, it'll go back slow. And if you use all the stamina, right, really fast, it'll glow red, which shows basically you can't use more than 6 attacks in succession. In the beginning, you only get 3, so it's very important that you don't overuse these, or you won't be able to use special attacks. Now, the Rooster Punch kind of makes it really easy to do all sorts of combos in the air. So I'll do Rooster. So if you press forward and B, you'll get the dash. And the dash is really interesting because, like, you'll go punch, 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 Rooster Punch, 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 punch. Then you'll do the dash, right? And at the end of the dash, you can jump again. I believe you get the dash after you get the double jump. So this will actually work like that. Say right after it. And there's actually timing to this. So you can't just spam the jump button most of the time and expect to get the combo up. So that's cool. I like the dash. And if you jump and you press down and B, you'll get the frog splash. Or that's what I call it anyway. And this is useful also. Now, notice that they're all color-coded. So a lot of enemies have colored shields. If they have a white shield, just hit them repeatedly and it'll break. But if they have a red shield, you need to use the Rooster Punch, because it's red. Duh. And if they have a blue shield, you use the dash to break it. I think it's called Goat Derp Derp or something. Whatever. Anyway, this game is funny, so... And if you have a green enemy, you press down. Now, the other one is the headbutt, which can be used in the air or on the ground. And it hits really hard and knocks enemies far away. And you just press the B button without pressing any other inputs. That's easier said than done when you're doing combos. And I believe you can pretty much cancel any attack with a dodge. Now, the dodge in the ground goes left or right, depending on what direction you're facing. So you can basically make it go wherever you want. Now, in the air, it doesn't do a dodge. It does this, like, weird dodge thing. You'll see what I mean. See, it doesn't move left or right. And it has about the same invincibility frames, but it's really strange, because it basically destroys your forward momentum, as you can see. Like, I'll jump. It just kind of carries you, and then you can't jump again. You can jump right out of it, I think. Yeah. You can jump right out of the dodge, but you usually don't because you're not paying attention. Yeah. So that's kind of useful, but I think there's ways they could have made it more interesting than just kind of having I dodge this. And it has a lot to do with the platforming, too, but, you know, it's that sort of thing. So there's a lot of compromises in the combat system. Now, in terms of the goat jump and the other things, the flying and that sort of thing, I'm not going to demonstrate that because it's rarely useful in combat at all. It's mostly for the platforming. So, I guess to demonstrate how kind of bad I am at this, let's see where I go. Alright, I'm just going to drop down. See, as long as you stop from getting hit, right, you'll just keep getting combo points. So, it's very strange the way it works. I'm sure there's a ranking and stuff, but again, I don't really need the money at this point because I'm at the end of the game. Pile driver. There you go. Yep, see? That's red. Bayonetta habits. I tried to dodge it, right? And it didn't work. And this is an easy way to deal with these kind of rooms. It also gives you a huge combo multiplier. You just keep throwing the enemies at each other until they all die. Fantastic. Now, the yellow enemies are really hard to dodge because of the way the timing goes. Ah, see how bad I am at this? Okay, I'm just gonna kill these. Nope. See, there's the punt. That's just pressing forward. And it's very strange. I really should be better at dodging in the air, but the exaggerated animations make it really hard for me to tell what the heck I'm doing sometimes. Yeah, I should have did a frog splash at the end of that. So yeah, see, I'm not that great at this. And see, I try to dodge it. If it glows red, don't bother dodging, because you'll just fail. And you just throw the enemies at each other. It's almost a foolproof tactic at times. It'll even knock over enemies that are shielded with the colors, so you can do either or. It really doesn't matter. Yeah, and the bone-throwing enemies are really annoying, so if you hadn't noticed yet. Okay, suplex time. Oh, get it. No! Darn it. Okay. That was that room? Really? Okay. And I totally failed. And there's cooler ways to do that, I'm sure. Oh, headbutt. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get one of these suplexes one of these days. Oh, God. Okay, here's suplex. Yeah. Okay, and these big enemies, you can't really do anything. It's also kind of strange how you can't actually tell whether they're getting hit or not. If the attacks had a little more impact, it'd be more interesting. Yep, and this is kind of like a throw everything at everything kind of run. And as you would think, you can't actually dodge their spinning attack because it is red in color. So that was fun. I must see so. I think the best combo you can get is if he turns into a goat. I honestly can't remember. Okay, so that was a interesting display of combat. So let's see how much further down I can go. As you can see, they're exceedingly generous with the health pool. That was just me discovering things just by like wandering around and finding stuff on the map that I hadn't seen before. But I honestly don't know how to get up here. I think I'm supposed to find the hidden mask pieces, so... Well, I guess that's the end of this video. If you liked it, comment, rate, and subscribe. And please read our review on this. I think the review kind of says more about what I liked about the game than this little video does. This is just the mechanical analysis, so... there's not really anything too interesting. Other than, I guess, the goat jump, which I haven't shown. You basically hug onto the wall and press forward. See? Oh, look. Goat jump. Goat jump. And you can also press up, and then that does the other one. Oh. But those aren't combat, really. So, well, if you found this interesting, please tell me. I want to know. These mechanical analysis videos are interesting to me. They might not be interesting to everyone. And there's certainly more elaborate combos that you can do than what I displayed here. Mostly like hit, 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 then dodge, hit, 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 dodge, hit, hit, hit. Too bad the enemies just don't live long enough here to do this sort of thing. It just kind of seems like they focus more on doing basic combos. Anyway, see you later. Thanks for watching.